Hi, I'm George Chauncey, and in the course I teach every year at Yale on U.S. lesbian and gay history, one of the things we talk about is the laws and regulations that used to keep gay people from being served in restaurants and bars, or appearing in Hollywood films or on TV, or working for the government. A lot of those laws and regulations have been repealed in recent years. It has gotten better. But one of the most persistent and troubling problems facing us today is the harassment of young people who are identified as queer. There are just too many kids all over the country who are beaten up, brutalized, and called names. I know this as a scholar, and I know this personally. When I went to high school in Virginia in the 70s, I was harassed all the time, called a queer all the time, beaten. And I got out of there. I was lucky enough to get into Yale, and I was a student at Yale in the 70s, which was better than Virginia, but not a welcoming place. I never could have imagined when I graduated that there would be as large and vibrant and welcoming an LGBT community as there is at Yale today, and that so many other students would welcome gay people here. And I want you to know that if you're being harassed today, you are going to find people who will treasure you and love you and respect you for who you are. It gets better.
I realized I wasn't straight my junior year of high school when I fell really hard for one of my close female friends.
I realized I was gay in first grade because on the playground I kind of convinced a boy to kiss me, and I got in trouble for it. Actually, my teacher took me to the side and scolded me for making this boy kiss him, and I was like, I don't know what to do. It was really fun. I thought it was okay. I've seen people in the street in New York do this all the time.
In second grade, I went over to a friend's house. His name was Owen. And we were playing basketball, and I accidentally chucked the ball into his nuts, and he was fell over on the ground. And for some reason, I was just like, oh, it looks kind of good right now. And that's when I first realized it was a little probably queer. Yeah.
In fifth grade, there was this one token couple. I think their names were Will and Ansley in the fifth grade, and all the guys used to talk about Ansley, and I was like, I think Will might be better looking.
There wasn't a aha moment. There was a slow boil.
I realized I was gay sitting on a bus waiting to come home from music camp. And I suddenly realized that for the past year, I'd only ever thought about guys, despite having a girlfriend for a while. And suddenly put two and two together and went, maybe this means something, The
first time I had feelings for a girl was in middle school. For my 14th birthday party, I had a themed party, and I assigned her the character of the ladies' man who was supposed to wear a suit and hit on my character all night. I wanted her to be a boy, so it would be okay.
Probably the lowest point was right before I came out. I was so afraid. What are my friends going to think? What are my parents going to think?
Before I told anybody that I'm gay, I spent a lot of time thinking about it all day, every day.
I didn't really think about coming out ever. I thought it was something that maybe I could escape from my whole life.
You sort of assume that when you come out, it's going to completely define your life. And one of my arguments against coming out for so long was I don't want to be just sort of categorized by everyone as gay. I don't want my primary characteristic to be Brennan is gay.
So I had to come out to my mother twice.
I accidentally came out to my dad when I was drunk at dinner. That was awkward.
I was texting with my mom. I told her about my weekend, and I was like, oh, I was at this queer conference, I met all these cool people. And she was like, really?
My dad made some comment about heterosexual marriage being oh, it's a great institution or stable or something like that.
And I had to sort of go over that whole I'm bisexual thing again.
I turned to him and I go Dad, do you know I'm bi? And he double taked.
I was like, I think I'm the only person in the history of the world who's had to come out to their mother twice.
My mom is the greatest because she basically found out I was gay from a phone call. I was talking to this man this boy that I was flirting with on the phone very, very actively, like a fool. My mom walks in after I turn off the phone and it's like, so, you're you're not really gonna have any baby mamas, are you?
The hardest part about coming out was an experience I had with a particular family member who reacted in basically the most negative way he could have.
I told my mother in the midst of a massive argument about other things, and the next day she told me that it didn't matter to her, but she didn't ever want to talk about it. You know, I tried to show her in the yearbook the picture of the boy I had a crush on, and you know, she wouldn't even look at it. She wouldn't even begin that conversation. And so about a year later, I ran away from home, and I went to my dad's house because my parents were divorced, and I've never left since.
There's also low points just in middle school and high school, feeling very isolated and wanting to connect to another person.
I came out when I was 11, and for the next 6 years, every single day, I got people calling me, you know, names in the hallway, including my teachers saying like these really foul words in class.
One of my teachers, when she found out that I was involved in the Gay-Straight Alliance, asked me in front of the entire class if I was gay, and I nearly had a heart attack.
I just thought I had like no value as a person, because people treated me like no value as a person at all.
My senior year of high school, we had the Day of Silence at our high school.
There was one incident where I was walking actually just near campus with my boyfriend at the time, and these two guys on BMX bikes started calling us faggots.
There was this woman handing out pamphlets, like 14 pages long, of different sex crimes that gay people supposedly committed. Everything from, you know, molesting children to eating feces and things like that.
One of them turned around and started biking alongside us and wouldn't stop harassing us, and actually punched my boyfriend in the face.
That was the kind of rhetoric that surrounded the issue of homosexuality in my home community.
When you have so many people telling you that who you are is something to be made fun of, like you start questioning your own good judgment.
I guess I just kind of ignored the problem, or what felt like a problem, ignored that I had these strong feelings for guys.
You know, I did so many things in high school, I kept myself involved in so many things, I kind of like squashed, you know, those views within inside my own head.
In high school, I was struggling with disordered eating. If I couldn't control my attraction to girls, I could control what I ate, and I could control my body. What is it, Maslow's hierarchy needs? If you don't have enough food, you're not going to think about sex. So, like, I don't know, starved away the gay.
I spent 2 years at West Point, which is the United States Military Academy. While I was there, this was 2008 to 2010, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was in full effect. If you are found out to be homosexual, then you are discharged from the military. So it was actually written into law while I was there that I could not be gay.
Being raised a Mormon, there's not a lot of room within the church, and therefore within your entire life structure, to really question anything regarding sexuality. We had a girl living at our house for a while. She was like a foster child, and I felt really, really connected to her. I remember writing her a letter that said, "Dear Amber, please don't tell anybody this, but like I don't want to be alive. I like genuinely don't want to wake up in the morning. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this family. I don't want to be here in this house, in this town, in this world." And that was probably rock bottom.
Hearing about the suicides of the gay teenagers as of late and ongoing really hit close to home for me, because I was in a really dark place myself once. And I can relate to those feelings of helplessness and isolation and the belief that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. It's scary to look back on, but also amazing to see how far I've come just mentally, because like I know that's so far from the truth.
When I think back to that kid, I just want to say, like, you matter and you're amazing, and like things get better. They get so much better. And now I love to live.
Dustin Lance Black, who's the screenwriter of Milk. I very vividly remember when he gave his acceptance speech at the Oscars, and rather than just thanking the Academy, he decided to speak directly to gay and lesbian youth everywhere. And he said that we are all creatures of value with a lot to offer the world, and never to let anybody tell you otherwise.
The thing to remember is that sometimes it is still really hard. And I think that as many times as we say, like, it'll get better when you get to college or like when you get out of high school, like it still sucks in a lot of ways.
I think especially to those students who have been bullied, I think I would say that they don't deserve the pain that they're feeling.
I wish that we could be there with every person watching this video and be in front of them and say that, like, I'm sorry the world is failing you.
It's funny, I used to want so badly to be straight.
I remember I used to pray to not be gay. Like, help me not be gay, help me overcome this, help me not be gay.
But now I'm just so happy I'm gay, and if someone said, like, I can make you straight, I would say no thank you.
And then I started being like, hey God, like, help me, like, be who I'm supposed to be. And like, help me be what you want me to be, like, actually.
Do the things that make you feel awesome about yourself, that make you feel powerful.
I love to write.
I love doing improv comedy.
I love books.
And teaching sex ed.
I hate Kindles.
I'm most passionate about education reform and social enterprise.
I'm passionate about food.
I did in fact appear on the sing-off. Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side?
I run track and field.
Right now I'm building my first piece of furniture.
I am a singer, I'm a photographer, I'm a student, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm gay. It's not it's like just in there.
If you're struggling with your sexual orientation, you should know that it does get better. You need to stay strong because the people around you will change, and it becomes easier to talk about being gay and to be gay.
Wake up every morning and know that you are a beautiful person, and there are people like us and a huge gay community in the world that is your family.
Have faith, don't give up, realize there is a very strong community that loves you and that knows you exist and that is fighting for you every second of the day.
Accept yourself and other people will. You know, other people love you for who you are and not who you love, which is something that takes time to learn yourself, but certainly is true.
You are not going to be in high school forever. Like, it may feel as though it's forever, but it's actually not. It's 4 years and that's not it's not as long of a time.
Change is happening, you know, it will get better and it is getting better.
In 20 years, I will be out of medical school, being a doctor. I'll be married because it will be legal in this country.
I think the way that everything's changing recently, that in 20 years, I think that that's going to be the norm, and that people are going to see this as just as normal as being straight.
People will not be worried about little details in the grand scheme of things, like who you want to love.
If I had little me here, if I had 15-year-old Gabriel sitting next to me right now, he would probably he wouldn't know how to talk to this camera, he wouldn't know how to talk about himself, he would be totally incapacitated, and I feel like it does get better.
It definitely gets better.
It gets way better. It gets better because people are working to make it better.
It gets better!
It gets better.
It does get better.
You don't know where the future is going to take you.
It gets better!
But, you know, it's definitely going to be better.
It gets so much better.
Yeah, it gets better.
It gets better!
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets so much better.
It gets better.
Lost at sea, I came across an